Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. In today's movie, we will see a girl who has an affair with her teacher. She wanted to complete her literature. She was ready to go to any extent for this. These people come very close and can't control. What happens after this? We will see in this video. So let's start this movie. At the beginning of the movie, we see a girl named Cairo. She is still 18 years old. Cairo lives in a mansion. She lives here quite comfortably. She has no shortage of money, but there are very few people around her. Her parents are lawyers, who often stay out of town for work. That's why Cairo spends most of her time alone. She had to walk a long way to go to school. When Cairo was writing her admission assignment, she talks to Vinny. She says she has not achieved anything big yet, and neither does she have any such experience. Then Vinny tells her to experience something so that she can write about the affair between the student and the teacher. Actually, Vinny is telling Cairo that she should have an affair with a student teacher so that she can write about it. Then Cairo discusses whether Vinny will have an affair with Mr. Fillmore or not. Because Vinny is a lesbian. Fillmore is a good friend of Mr. Miller, and he is also the coach of this school. The next day we see Cairo in this school, where she joined the creative writing class. Here Cairo meets Mr. Miller for the first time. Mr. Miller has a very calm nature, and he was a normal person. But Cairo joined this class only for Mr. Miller, because she knows. She is a published author, and she also considers herself a writer. Cairo tells here. She has read a lot of books for this course. Mr. Miller likes Cairo's talks a lot. Here they talk to each other a lot. Here Mr. Miller is surprised to know this. Cairo's house is Laval Hill, which is a mansion built in the middle of the jungle. Mr. Miller says this. He used to think as if there were only ghosts in that house. These people were talking here. Then Cairo's best friend Vinny comes here. She comes here and asks them for breakfast. When Cairo and Vinny go for breakfast. Then Mr. Miller looks at the books on Cairo's desk. Looking at Cairo's books, Mr. Miller is very impressed with him. He has one of his own book among these books, which Miller had written for his teaching career. Miller likes to see all this. After a while, Mr. Miller comes to his house, and he comes here and gets intimate with his wife. He talks to his wife about new students. Mr. Miller's wife is an alcoholic, and she is not happy with Mr. Miller's work. Mr. Miller, who is always involved in books, his wife does not like these things. So this can be easily explained. What is Mr. Miller's inclination towards his students? Mr. Miller calls Cairo to him after class one day. He wants to discuss a story with Cairo. Mr. Miller tells a part of that story to Cairo. Cairo presents their story in a better way. They go so deep into the story that their talks were going on like this, as if they were getting intimate with each other. Suddenly, Vinny comes here in the middle of their romantic talks, and she takes Cairo home. Cairo goes to town for a poetry reading, where Miller also had to go. Cairo also wanted Mr. Miller to come here. After a while, Mr. Miller also comes here. They sit close to each other and listen to a poetry. Cairo gets very emotional while listening to poetry here. After this, they go out and talk a lot about it. Here they share cigarettes with each other while smoking. Their intimacy was increasing. After a while, Miller meets Fillmore. He is a coach and teacher in the school. He is a very old friend of Miller. They were talking here. That's when Cairo comes here. Fillmore makes fun of Cairo's selection of books here. Now Fillmore goes from here. Cairo sits close to Miller. They share cigarettes here again. They were very close. When Miller was going to his class, he gets a message from his wife that she is going somewhere. In the class, Cairo tells Miller about her favorite author. She says she is going to write her story in her style. Mr. Miller is in a hurry to go home now. That's why she says yes and leaves here. Vinny gets on Mr. Miller's table and teases Cairo a lot here. Here, Fillmore comes to meet his friend Miller. After Fillmore comes here, Vinny teases him a lot. She takes Fillmore's phone and puts it in her clothes. But here Cairo was not able to find her phone. Here we see Mr. Miller. His plan is to go out with his wife. But his plan gets canceled. Because Mr. Miller's wife had a lot of work. When Mr. Miller was sitting in his house, he gets a call from Cairo. Here we know that Cairo had put his phone in Mr. Miller's bag, so that he could call her home on the pretext of taking the phone. Here, Miller and his wife's plan had already been canceled. That's why Miller decides to go to Cairo's house to give the phone. When he reaches out of Cairo's house, it starts raining. Cairo comes out here in very thin clothes. Both look at each other here and kiss each other. After that, Miller comes back to his house. Cairo sends him an email. Here, Miller's wife says to him, "I am not able to do my work properly because you are here." After this, Miller gets up from here and goes to a small cabin. Here, Miller reads the story sent by Cairo by printing it. It is an adult story, where there is an affair between a student and a teacher like Cairo and Miller. In this story, they were talking about their relationship. While reading this story, Mr. Miller remembers everything that happened last night, where they were very close. While reading the story of Miller Cairo, he gets very excited. After this, he takes off his pants and enjoys this story. But the next day, everything changes. Miller does not call Cairo as he used to do before. When Cairo comes to school, she asks Miller, "How did you like this story?" Miller says, "I did not like your story at all. There were a lot of mistakes in this story." When Cairo says that this story was about us, Miller clearly says that there is nothing like that between us. We are just students and teachers. Hearing this, Cairo's heart breaks. Miller says that you have to write this story again, otherwise I will fail you in the midterm. Cairo gets very angry with Miller here. She says that my story is perfect. Cairo says that you are nervous because I have written what you could not write. Cairo calls him a very common writer to show him down, and she says that if you have the courage, then fail me right now. After this, she goes home crying, and she starts drinking with Vinny. On the other side, we see Mr. Miller, who is in a lot of tension. Seeing this, his wife asks him, "What happened?" Miller tells him about the story. Hearing this story, his wife also gets excited. As soon as these people are about to do something here, a filmer comes here. Miller gets upset again. On the other side, Cairo and Vinny were talking. Cairo tells Vinny that Miller was just pretending to be close to me. Cairo tells Vinny that you send a message to Mr. Filmer so that he can be distracted. Vinny talks to the filmer very well here, but his words had no effect on the filmer. After this, these people took off all their clothes to attract the attention of the filmer, and take romantic photos and send them to the filmer. As soon as the filmer sees these photos, he quickly leaves Miller's house. Then Miller's wife gets a call from the school. Now the whole school had found out about the affair between Miller and Cairo. His wife was very surprised to hear this. She asks why this is happening. Just because of the story written by a student, she asks Miller, "Did something else happen between the two of you?" But Miller clearly refused. The next day, Cairo does not come to class. She is in the vice principal's office. The vice principal asked Cairo and Miller, "What is all this happening?" Cairo told the vice principal everything. Miller gave me a midterm assignment in advance. And we drank cigarettes together. And we also met outside the school. But when it's Miller's turn, he hesitates to answer the questions. Seeing his hesitation, the vice principal understands everything. So Miller is suspended from his job. Outside the school, the filmer explains to Miller, "You should have worked at a limit, but you have crossed your limit, because of which you are in this state today." After this, the filmer leaves. When Miller comes home and tells his wife that he has been expelled from school, then his wife starts doubting him. She asks again, "Did anything happen between the two of you?" But Miller refused again, but his wife was not ready to accept this. She asks Miller again, "Do you have any feelings for that girl?" Miller says nothing. About this, a fight starts between the two of them, and they both start counting each other's shortcomings. This fight gradually increases so much that his wife decides that she will divorce Miller. On the other hand, Vinny meets Cairo. She says, "Whatever you did, Miller lost his job." But Cairo doesn't care. Cairo says Miller misunderstood me, and now he will know who I am. Cairo did this to Miller and considered it his biggest victory. Cairo says now neither Miller has a job nor his wife. Will he be able to write anything now? At this point, the movie ends. Actually, when Miller disliked Cairo's story, Cairo decided to take revenge on Miller, and he was ready to go to any extent for his revenge. He got Miller fired from his job and divorced his wife. He took revenge from Miller. With Cairo's revenge, this movie ends here. For similar movies, you can follow us on Telegram and Instagram, whose link is given in the description. And if you like the movie, then do like it. And for more such videos, subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.